Hey guys, so as you can see we are on the preview edition of Minecraft today. We're going to be checking out the snapshot and some stuff you could do with the cushions. Thank you for the support on the series, and I was going to plan to upload a different video this week, but looks like we're going to be having a quicker turnaround than usual, and this will be what's popping out. So first I'm going to show you guys on Bedrock how to get to this. So to get to the preview version, I'm going to drag this over. This is the launcher. Normally when you join there'll be an update, but once you join it'll be saying latest preview like this. It'll show the realms and your worlds over here. But you just come here, click that, well, make sure you're on Bedrock Edition. So over here, select Bedrock Edition, and come here to latest preview, and then you'll press play. And once you do that, it will say preview edition right here. Click play preview. I have an old world from when I played on another snapshot. I think this was Vibrant Visuals is what I was testing at the time, but we will be testing the cushion out. Now when you're creating your world, set your settings how you like them, but then come down here to experiments and do drop 3 of 2026 if you're looking for the dappled forest and all those sorts of things. It will give you the warning. Obviously I would not use this as a main world because there's still a lot of changes to come, but I wanted to show off the random seed we spawned in. We spawned in a mesa similar to the realm, which is pretty cool, but then there's a village right here, and I also wanted to show a village right there, and I wanted to show something off to you guys who don't play Bedrock Edition. So this is a completely vanilla render distance. This is 96 chunks, and it actually isn't fully loaded in yet. You see some chunks still loading, and there'll be some chunk errors as it's kind of getting everything. I mean, like, look, when I zoom, how far you're seeing, like, where that fog on that is. That's probably about, like, 90 chunks out right there. Do you see how tiny those little squares are? I need a second spyglass to see that. But, and here we are. I mean, see, this is... Vibrant Visuals is just beautiful. I mean, the fog is pretty intense, don't get me wrong, but I think it looks really nice. Anyways, so to get to why we are here today, these are the colors we're working for, and this kind of blends in with the orange, but you can see it all over here. We got all 16 colors of wool. You can right-click to sit in them. This looks funny with my skin because the legs get separated, so when I'm standing it looks like I'm a little ghost, but when I sit, you can see that I actually do have legs. I don't mind it though. These little cushions are pretty cool, and you can do quite a few things with them. And so here I am going to be trying to show you guys some of the stuff I've discovered from watching content creators, and also some stuff I've come up with on my own. The first thing I want to show with these cushions is that they can be placed kind of within a block. As you can see here, there is a little bit of a seam right here you can see, and that seam is how they get it so that it doesn't clip out on the outside of the block, but when you hop in, it still works, and it's just a little chair. You can place these kind of on anything and they clip to the right height, so you see that does power the pressure plate. I can hear. I think if you use a stone pressure plate it won't until you step on it then, but wood is by entity or items, so like if you take a wood and I throw like a item on it, it'll sense it. So I imagine that's what that's causing that. Or I imagine that's why this is causing that, because this is considered an entity similar to an item for him. It also is kind of annoying because you can do this, but you can't do this. Like I would like for that to directly be on that, because in Java Edition you can place like this and have this in the same and create like a little dinner plate, or you have different uses. Anyways, to get back to the point, cushions. They can be placed on different things at different heights. So that's the push button height, and then versus that, which is a little bit taller, you can see. Maybe I can put it right next to each other to show off what I'm trying to say. See? Different heights. Snow layers are really good for this. Now, let me see if I can find their name. Melon, I believe she's a streamer. I don't know if she has a YouTube channel, but I saw a TikTok clip of hers, and she found out that you can do this. I guess I'll use this because it's closer to cyan. So obviously you can, this isn't new, you can do this with walls because how gates clip to them, but because of the height difference you can do Oh. Did they fix it? Because when she did it, or maybe it's different on Java Edition, but when she did it, it just clipped to the top of this guy right here. So there is still a workaround that we can do this, and this was learned from Exuma. So we learned from Exuma when you... Oh. Yeah, okay, so this is right. When you click on here on the inside, it's not a set height, but it looks like on this version it might be. Yeah, it looks like you can't decide anywhere within the cauldron. It just has the one fixed height that it's placed at, and it's going to break in just a moment. So yeah, you can't have them just floating forever, but what you can do is if we do this, this will be hard to break. Maybe I need the cauldron instead to make this easier. So if we break that, and then we, oh, no. Okay, this is hard. Let's see here. We go like this, and we go like that. Okay, you can actually pierce through, and then, or like, you know, you could use a different block. You can do, I mean, you could make it float. Like, let's, so see, that does go right on top, but it's going on top because it's at that height. So I feel like this is just an oversight on this version, or it's just a functional difference. But if we could find something that's at that height, maybe these. So this is where snow will come in useful. We're gonna go, how many layers? To there. And then we are going to place this on top. You see how it's right on top? And then we are going to... Okay. That's still a little high, actually, so why don't we go just down a little bit. Put that there. Put that there, and then boom, boom. And then boom. Boom. And that's the right height. And we go like that, and then we go like that, and then we go like that. So this is what Melon discovered. On Java Edition, it's much simpler, but you can still do it on this version, as I just demonstrated. And it kind of creates these guardrails. You could even do this. If you wanted to kind of go like that, or if we brought it down a little lower. You actually get that sticking through the top. So there's a lot of different little bits and bobs you can do with this. So that's kind of one little design we can do. And now working off the thing I showed you earlier, we can create these little lamps actually that I saw while watching Mumbo's video, like this. Like imagine this on just a little desk next to a chair. Here's just like a little example. You can do like a little love seat and side table with bamboo here. This lamp thing that I showed over here does glow at night. The setup does glow at night. Another little seat example over here. Here's a little bar stool. You could alternatively do this, obviously, but I feel like for a bar stool that looks a little bit better. Another thing I wanted to show was that you can put these on ice and then still get the effects of the ice as you run across. Now, it seems like shift clicking while placing these might... Oh, no, it still lets you sit. So you're gonna be clicking a lot extra with misclicks here. But yeah, so you can cover the ice and it does still have the effect, which means still use a boat. Another thing of note is that these can be placed inside water, so it's hard to see that water, so let's just place it right next to it. They don't get floated by water. They get broken by pistons. They don't get pulled by sticky pistons. They are unaffected by potions. Okay, now, I will be the first to say this is a stolen design, but I don't know who I saw it from, but this is a really simple way to create an insanely good road. You just throw anvils in the middle, and you do 4 layers of snow. You place the cushion on top, and then you do an anvil, and it looks like this. You can even, like, do this to separate it. Oh. If you wanted, like, dotted. Or, you know, gray concrete might even look better next to the anvils. They kind of blend in a little bit more that way. Yeah, look how good that looks. I did manage to catch this on a stream, that if you have a villager that goes into a bed when you have a cushion placed on it, they end up... Okay, you assigned to a bed over there. Oh, it doesn't work on this version fully, or maybe that's because he's a leather worker. Let's get another one over here, because the leather workers do have an apron. Let's see if he'll sleep in that bed. Let's place a couple of these and just get some villagers going. Oh, I knocked him out of the bed immediately. Go back in bed. No, it looks like they're just... Another thing that's not parody is that they're a little bit taller and they stick out their aprons when they are in the beds. Or maybe it's because they're desert versions or something, but that's that. Just to demonstrate, you can make this light with a lot of different rods in the middle. And I actually really like this lightning rod. I'm going to try something a little different here with that. Okay, yeah, by placing it upside down, which you place a block above and then place it, look, you even get a base to the lamp. Look at that. Look at how amazing that looks. I saw someone who made like booths by using shelves, and they just did their shelves like this, and then put their stuff like this. This was, and here was your little booths. You just put in the cushions, and you have little tables in front. And boom, you've got booths. Now, I just saw from Obi Does Stuff that this is a little mushroom design, but you do have this face. But if you can hide that, and with the skulls, you can kind of get like angularity, he was saying, which is fair. You kind of get that like on a turn. But that made me think we can also do this for a mushroom. It's kind of thick though. You can do this, might look better. And if you use the brown, that would look, I mean, you could make it look like the giant brown mushrooms pretty easily. And like a simple kneeling pillow. Boom. I mean, you can even put these things on candles. We can even have pool tables now in Bedrock. So we used to not be able to, because Java has always been able to do this with carpet and signs, and it just works. And this doesn't work in a hot biome, guys. So pro tip, if you want to make this, don't make this in a hot biome, because the snow melts. But yeah, so it's like an end rod here, some signs, and you get a control. There, you can kind of see what I got going on in here. But yeah, you can make this not in a hot biome, again, but in a cool biome or a neutral biome. You'll be able to make this and also stay up. Oh, wow, this seed. Sorry, sign out here, guys. But we also have an abandoned campsite. So this is something that does spawn in this update as well. And it spawned with some of the new hay beds. Wow. So I was just going to do this on cushions, but it looks like we're just going to also get some hay beds here to show off. These are just single use. They're made with 3 hay bales, makes 4 beds. These spawn with random loot. And I suppose since we're doing a full update here, this is the new biome. And this is actually a pretty big one. Wow, this is an amazing one. Look at this new biome with this giant ravine. Wow, this would be pretty cool. This is the closest one to spawn. So as you see, there's 3 leaf types, but 1 wood type, actually. If we come down here, you'll see easier that part. And yes, there are these new shelf mushrooms. They have 2 stages of growth. So this is stage 1. Stage 2. Here are most of the new blocks, if not all the new blocks in this biome. So of course there's these fallen logs you've seen throughout the biome. And I don't think that is exclusive to this version. I think that's on both versions. But these are the trapdoors, the door, the log strip variants, the 3 leaf types it randomly generates when the tree grows. Here's what the sapling looks like for the tree. The shelf mushroom, which you've seen. These red leaf ferns, I believe, or no, red shrubs. This is what the poplar wood looks like, and this looks a lot like pale oak in this, but It doesn't at all. This is actually what it looks like for some side-by-side comparison. So it's very much more like a muted brown up here, and it does look like it in game very much when you see it, that it does look like a muted brown. When it's by itself in certain contexts, it might look whiter, but that's more to do with context. So if we put it next to like this, and we do like a checkered pattern, that's going to look pretty white. But still, if we bring this white next to it, it suddenly looks not the same. And so if we put these right next to each other to demonstrate a little bit clearer, you can very clearly, distinctly see where the separation between the two are. Anyways, that is what is in the new snapshot. Specifically, we were talking about this cushions primarily, but a couple of the other things came into view. So there you guys go. Hope to see you in the next video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and see you later.